All right, so I just wanted to dive in with a bit of a different video, not the kind of thing I'd normally post about, but it's something that I wanted to let you know rather than kind of writing about it on social media or posting it on my website and it kind of disappearing into the ether and you not noticing it. So what I'll do is I'll dive over to my display to show you exactly what it is I want to let you know about. So you can see here, it's to do with BenQ. BenQ have currently got a photography contest running. This is BenQ Europe and BenQ UK. And it's for anybody within those regions to enter. And it's running up until November the 17th. Now, I'm going to go through the competition itself that I really think everybody needs to kind of have a go at. But let me just show you, first of all, the actual prizes that you can win for the first 3 prizes. There's actually 10 winning places, but the top 3, I actually thought I'd misread this when I saw what the prizes were. So for the first place winner, you get not just 1, but 2 of the SW272U displays. 2 of them, plus a €500 cash prize, which is about £450 pounds sterling. Now, this is the display that I use religiously day to day. In fact, let me just press this here. Let's see if this works. There you go. There is my SW272U that I use all the time for my photo editing and video editing. It's got the hood, it's got the anti-reflective screen, it's 4K, you've got the wireless hotkey puck. I've also got a PD display over here, but this is all about this display here. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I'll play you a very short video, so just over a minute long, to show you more details about it, the display that you can win for first and actually second place as well. So let me just play that for you now, then I'll go into more details about the extra prizes and what the competition entails. So like I said, that is the display that you can win. In fact, 2 of those for the first place prize, plus the €500, £450 sterling. Now, second place also wins an SW272U display and €400, which is roughly £350 sterling. And the actual third place winner gets the SW272Q. Now, the SW272Q, and I think as well it's €300, £250 sterling as well. But the SW272Q is pretty much identical to the SW272U. The only real difference is that it's 2K as opposed to 4K. Now, there are also winning places for positions 4 through to 10, and now I get actually a code for a discounts on the SW and PD range of displays from BenQ as well. So really there's kind of 10 winning places, but the top 3 are the ones that actually get the displays themselves, with the first place getting 2 of them. Now let's dive over to my my screen so I can show you what the actual competition's all about. So here we've got the actual winning prizes. Now the competition is based all around the senses. So you have touch, smell, sight, sound and taste. And you can kind of interpret that however you want. I'll give you an example of how I would interpret that in a moment. But also just to let you know with this, as long as they fit into one of those 5 senses categories, then you're good to go. And you've got until November the 17th to submit these images. So go back to my screen then. So how do you actually get involved in this? Well, I'll put links in the description part of this video. They'll also be on my website and on social media as well. But what the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the link and you're going to download what they call the BenQ frame file. Now, if I just click on this, this will then open up the download links, and you can see just in here, there's actually 5 downloads. But what you'll notice is that each of them is labeled on one of those particular senses. So we've got touch, taste, sound, smell, and sight. Now, when you download one of those actual templates there, I've got one here in Photoshop. You can see this is what it kind of comes out like. It'll come out in a square 1x1 format. But the great thing is as well with this one, it's not kind of fixed. You could get the move tool and you can reposition this. So if you had an image that maybe wasn't in the square 1x1 format, you could recrop this and then put it into place so that it kind of fits in well. Now, one thing to let you know about with this is as well that the competition is only going to be held on Instagram. So you obviously do need an Instagram account, and that's where you post them. So you post either a 1x1, a tall image, or you can actually post it as a reel. Okay, because we can actually, we can post images, still images into reels. It doesn't have to be video. In fact, let me just show you here. This is where I've actually put some of these images onto my Instagram just to show you. Here we've got a tallish kind of image, and the same image I've put here as a square crop, and then I've also added a reel, and you can see how it kind of fits in there. Now, it might be that the crop that you give them on any of those formats doesn't show the exact, full image, but it's going to give us, the judges, because I'm one of the judges, it's going to give us a really good idea of what your image is all about. So that's what you can do there. But when it comes to using this template, like I said, if you wanted to have a square image, you could. But if I wanted to put this image into it, I could also, if I was going to create a reel, just go to the crop tool in Photoshop, let's say. We've got some default kind of layouts here. I'll go for 16:9. You can see it gives us it going 16 on the long side and 9 on the downside there. But if I just press X, it'll rotate it. I can zoom out, and then I can just grab these handles, drag it out to give that kind of orientation, and then use the move tool and just position that up the top. And then just obviously drag the image in and then post it over onto social media. Now, let's just dive back over to the competition website just to give you some idea of what other details that you need to know. Let's just go back on there. So that's the BenQ frame file that you'll need. And when you are posting this, like I said, onto Instagram, there are certain things that you need to do so that BenQ and the judges know that you're entering that image into the competition. So the first thing you need to do, no matter what you write in accompanying that particular image, you need to have some hashtags. So you need to use the hashtag #AQ color without the U, which is kind of strange for those of us in the UK, but also the hashtag BenQ Senses. And also you need to tag AQ color by BenQ. Now, you'll probably notice when you're on Instagram, there are a couple of handles for AQ color. Just make sure that you use the one AQ color by BenQ. So that's that particular thing there. And like I said, you've got until November the 17th to do it. But there's one important note, and this is something we talked about quite a lot because it is a hot potato these days, and that is obviously AI. Now, there are a couple of things we talked about. Can we use it? Can't we use it? And I'm really glad that BenQ are fully embracing the use of AI. They kind of admit that, yes, it is there. It's not something we can ignore. But when it's coming to a competition like this, when there is a significant prize being given here. In fact, in total, I think it's roughly around about €6,000 worth of prizes. What BenQ need to ensure is that if they're going to give out prizes to that kind of value, they need to know that whoever submitted it, the work they submitted, is at their own hand. So there are kind of limitations on the use of AI. And those limitations basically, if I just go back to here, you can see that in the first point there, it says the use of AI tools is permitted, but only for corrections or removal of elements within the submitted image and not for adding in elements. The AI tools allowed are only for those, the only AI tools allowed are those for Adobe Firefly within Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. Now, what I will say is you can use any software to edit your images when you're submitting it. Obviously you can, because there are so many different other pieces of software outside of the Adobe ecosystem. But the AI, if your software does have AI, it can only be used for those purposes, for corrections and for removal objects, not for adding in elements, because obviously that then isn't really created at your hand, all right, if that makes sense. So obviously there's those kind of rules have to be submitted into there. But that's it. I mean, that is the competition. It's running until November the 17th. Like I said, if I just dive back over to here, November the 17th, the 3 judges, just so that you know, there's a guy called Alberto Dross, who's an amazing photographer, a Dutch photographer. You've got some guy called Glyn Dewis, and you've got Joanna Lemanska. Now, what's going to happen is, also, one thing I've kind of said would be, be a great thing to do is that when November the 17th come up, me, Joanna and Albert, we get together, we go through all of the images submitted. Just make sure you add those hashtags and that tag of AQ Colour by BenQ. We're going to go through to see who the winners are. The prizes are then going to be given out. And what I thought would be really cool, and BenQ kind of are fully on board with this, is that we do a live stream. And we can actually get the winners onto the live stream, obviously, if they're willing to do so. But one thing I thought would be really good would be to turn it into a bit of an educational thing. Because if I think of some of the images that could be submitted for this, and if I just think of the people that I follow on social media, some incredible images where the editing is just like out of this world. There could be some really cool techniques in there that would be great to share. So if they're willing to, it'd be great if we could show some of those techniques as well when we get the winners on into the live stream. So that's what it is. November the 17th it's running until, and you know what? Just go for it. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. You're going to post your images on social media. As long as you use that frame and you put those hashtags and the tag itself in there, I am sure, I'm 100% convinced that we've all got images already sitting on our hard drives doing nothing that could potentially win this. And like I said, for first place, 2 of these SW272Us, plus the cash prize, second prize, 1 of those there, and the third prize, the SW272Qs. And then obviously the 4th to 10th place, you've also got those discounts. So just wanted to let you know about it. I didn't want to just post it on social media, like I said, and it kind of disappear amongst all those other posts. And also didn't want to just add it as a post on my website. I will be doing that because you're going to need those links as well as what will be in this description here. But I had to let you know about it because this is just too good to miss. So there you go. Over to you, November the 17th. Now, before I disappear, just a couple of extra little things, as I always do on these lives, to let you know about. Don't forget, or if I just reach forward, we've got the Adobe Photoshop Virtual Summit 5 coming up in just over 3 weeks' time. And you can see 20 world-class expert instructors, which is nice, teaching 40 classes, which is going to be over 30 hours of instruction that you can watch for absolutely nothing. Just get the link. Use the link. Go and get your free pass. And if you use it, then great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. At least you had it there. It's just like this competition here that if you've got nothing to lose by entering. Absolutely nothing to lose. So I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave it with you, and I really do look forward to kind of seeing the images that you submit. So there you go. Senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Over to you, and I shall look forward to seeing your images on Instagram.